Hey everybody, it's me, the lovely Empress Oracle, and we're doing something new today. I'm going to speak my truth. Alrighty, but first we're going to make sure that we cleanse the area. We're gonna pray because shit's gonna get real. Y'all already know. Move any negative energy, remove all negative energy. Anything that is not of God and out of the light is not welcome here and must leave immediately. Spirit, source, angels, ancestors, universe, divine. I ask that anybody that watches this video, I ask you to please bless them to be able to see things from my point of view. I ask you, Father God, to paint a picture in my audience's head, a step-by-step depiction of the truth, the absolute truth, so they can know the truth of the situation in its entirety, for clarity and for peace. Amen. Now, okay, so I'm probably going to do a lot of videos like this because there's some shit that needs to be cleared up. And one thing y'all know about me, I'll tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a motherfucking lie. And I said what I said. So we're going to get to it. Now, y'all see I got on my unfiltered sweatshirt, so you already know shit about to get real. Y'all, hold on though, I'm ashy. Nobody wasn't gonna say nothing? Ooh, perfect. Let me tell you something. Spirit is really moving. He's really orchestrating this right now because not only am I using one of my delicious, wonderfully moisturizing and smooth body butters handmade by myself, but I am definitely putting on my protection body butter. This one right here helps to cleanse the aura, protect from negative energy, okay? And keep them vibes high because we need that. How else would I have survived with all these fucking haters? How else? But hey, what do I know? I'm just here living my best life, peaceful and free and shit. Anywho, all right, back at the ranch, guys. So today, I finally will be speaking my piece in its entirety. This is my testimony. This is not just my truth, but this is the truth. And I say that this is the truth because I am the kind of person, I have accountability. I am able to admit when I am wrong. I am able to admit where I go wrong. I'm able to apologize and move forward. So with that being said, I will be telling the truth, the full fucking truth, because can't none of y'all beat me any fucking way. Anyway, so I did post the other day, I don't know if you guys saw, congratulations to me, that my case was dismissed. So the guy I received my daughter from had falsified numerous documents. First and foremost, because I'm going to clear my name, I know I called y'all one time FBI, IRS, Child Support Services, Department of Justice, everybody. You guys need to go on ahead and pick up Mr. Andrew Coker and his cohorts. Okay, they have done a lot of fraud. Okay, Mr. Coker has been trying to make my life hell since the day he met me. I'm convinced. I don't know what kind of a person goes out of their way to get somebody, to trap somebody that they don't like. Oh, no, wait. Yes, I do. A narcissist. So basically, I'm going to try to consolidate this, make a long story short. I don't want to keep you guys here all day. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so basically, the guy who gave me my daughter, he trapped me. I was not trying to get pregnant. He was a Mr. Right Now. He had been scoping me out, but at that time, I really didn't believe that guys trap girls. This shit was unheard of. I didn't really fucking believe a guy really did that shit. You know what I mean? But he used to say things like, oh, we should have a baby. If the baby got this features of yours, I'd make a good dad. I come from a large family and blah, 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 blah. I wasn't paying him no fucking mind. I was like, yeah, okay. Because I already had a child I met him in the military. I had already had a child. It's my first duty station. And I was under the impression that I could no longer have any more children because I had been married previously and I couldn't have any fucking kids, basically, is what they told me. So I'm not paying him no mind. I'm like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? This whole experience with the guy who gave me my daughter, the whole experience with that guy was definitely a lesson, and it definitely was some karma also too. I firmly believe this is past life karma because that was my baby mama, okay? That the bitter baby mama, the textbook bitter baby mama you read about in every hood novel, that was him. That was him. My man had a vagina, okay? But anywho, while I was pregnant, I was high risk because, like I said, they was like, this baby's probably not going to live because they thought I couldn't have any more children because I had a prior ectopic pregnancy. So I was high risk, so which meant I really couldn't do much. And also, too, we were overseas. We were in Japan. So I didn't have any family. He's all I had out there. Besides, some friends. I really didn't have any friends either because, like I said, I've always kind of been like, a loner, introvert, keep to myself, including in the military. Anywho, he treated me like shit while I was pregnant. It was very embarrassing. I would call him sometimes to bring me food. He would not show up. Mind you, I was high risk pregnant. Now, if you're pregnant and you're hungry, you feel like you're dying. He would be like, I'm on my way. I would call him at like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, okay? And he'd be like, I'm on my way with some food. And he wouldn't show up till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning after he was done clubbing this shit. Be like, oh, I forgot. One time he said he was bringing me food and I was like 7 months pregnant. And he asked me what I wanted to eat. And we were on base. I lived on base. And there was a Popeyes on base. We're in Japan. And I told him what I wanted from Popeyes. This motherfucker went and got Popeyes, brought it to my room, sat down next to me, and started eating. And laughing. He thought it was funny. I'm pregnant with his child. He thought it was funny. He started eating and started laughing, and I slapped that shit out his fucking hand because I don't play that shit. Fuck. Seriously. But anywho, while I was pregnant, like I said, he treated me really bad. I did choke him out a few times. I'm not gonna front. I did strangle him with his scarf. He deserved it. I don't think it was that time. I think it was another time when he was being verbally abusive to me or some shit. And he said something that had me fucked up, and I was fuck you talking to? Yeah, tighten up, bitch. So from that day forward, he was scared of me, basically. I put a little fear in his heart. As I should. Fuck you talking to? Anyway, so that was my first duty station in Japan. While I was pregnant, I ended up finding out that my mother had cancer, and I actually found out that she had cancer the day she was going into surgery while I'm pregnant overseas in Japan. So basically, I took my ass back home. I went right the fuck back to Atlanta to go take care of my mother. Mind you, I have 2 other siblings. I have an older brother and a younger sister from my mom, both of whom were in the States, but they had better things to do. Basically, they had better shit to do. So I did a humanitarian transfer back to Atlanta, pregnant, to take care of my mom. While I was, you know what? As I'm talking, this may be, I'm going to have to break this up because it's a lot. And I want you guys to know everything. Okay? This is purging. This is how I do my healing, is speaking. And a lot of people just have a misconception of me because of the guy who gave me my daughter. He really tried to tarnish my name and ruin my reputation. So we gonna clear this shit. But anyway, back to the story. So, yeah, I did the humanitarian transfer. Came back home to take care of my mom. While I was home taking care of my mom after she came home from surgery, I received a phone call from the guy who gave me my daughter telling me that he had an STD and I probably have it too, basically is what he told me. So, yes. Not only did he get me pregnant without fucking asking, goddammit, he trapped me, but then on top of that, he was cheating on me and went and got an STD while I was pregnant. Mind you, we were still having sex. I was wondering why he had started acting funny like a week or 2 before that, because he used to be on me like white on rice, and all of a sudden he's to kind of be hesitant, but he still do it. Come to find out he had an STD. Embarrassing, right? I'm pregnant as fuck. So I end up having to go. Why he told me this on the phone during this very, very traumatic time of my life when I was pregnant and I was going through a lot. I had a lot on me. He didn't give a fuck. That's what narcissists do, guys. I learned that. All right. Anything. He always had to turn things around to be about him. So I ended up going back to I had to go back to Japan to clear some things up, you know, because I was visiting. I'm sorry, I said I had moved to Atlanta. I hadn't moved yet. I went to go visit my mom from surgery or whatever, and I was making the plan, starting my transfer. So I had to go back to Japan, you know, to get my stuff and move. I had to go to the clinic on base where everybody knew me because I was pregnant. So I couldn't work in law enforcement. So I was actually working with these people, and it was so embarrassing. I had to go and I had to get a penicillin shot in my ass, so that I wouldn't catch chlamydia while I waited for the test results to see if he did indeed infect me with an STD. As I was leaving, they was like, oh my gosh. The lady was like, how did you end up with him? Girl, you could do way better. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I forgave him for that. I moved on. I just told him, I said, I'm not fucking with you no more like that, right? And he was popping all this big shit. He was like, yeah, you my baby mama, hood shit. I was like, yeah, fuck you. I said, hey, I'm not gonna fuck with you. I told him, I said, if I fuck with you, it's probably just gonna be until it's time for me to leave. And then that's it. I don't think he took me seriously, guys. I don't think he took me seriously. So anyway, he got out the military and moved to Atlanta. I transferred with a humanitarian transfer to take care of my mom to Atlanta. So we're in Atlanta. Okay. So I had while we're there, you know, this is towards the end of my pregnancy. This man basically ignored me. I basically had to buy all the stuff my baby needed myself. I had to drag him to go even try to contribute and help to buy like the stroller and shit like that. And I ended up in the end I ended up buying all the shit myself. I think he bought like the crib. Okay, and that was a struggle in itself. That was a battle in itself. He dead ass wanted to like put my child in like nothing. Like seriously, for real. So I had the baby, and things were okay at first, right? And then I started noticing that every time I would go around him, I would just get real sick, real sick, real sick, real sick. I'm talking about deathly ill. Like I ended up in the emergency room maybe about 7 times. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Maybe about 7 fucking times. Sick as fuck, and they didn't know what was wrong with me. So one day I was at his house, and I was in his room, and he had like a Bible or some shit on the bed. And so, you know, I'm like, oh, the Bible's on the bed. So I go to pick up the Bible. This motherfucker comes. I guess he had forgot that he had some shit going on because he had left the room. He comes flying in that bitch like, wait, what are you doing? But in the Bible, he had some shit marked up in there. Like he was trying to do some shit. And he had a paper with my name on it. I saw that much. So I knew he was trying to do some shit. Now, mind you, this man is of the Jamaican and Nigerian diaspora. You know, ethnic people do ethnic things. I don't know. A lot of people don't believe in black magic and all that stuff or whatever, and that is okay. However, just because you don't believe in certain things does not mean that they don't exist. So basically, I had to stop fucking with him. I stopped fucking with him, and he got real mad and real bitter. But when I saw that, I just had this bad feeling, and I was like, I think this motherfucker is trying to do some work to me. So I stopped having sex with him. He got very bitter. He got very upset. Bitter baby mama activated, right? So one time, my daughter was like 10 months old, I think. 10 months old. And I had dropped her to his house. Now, I don't play about my kids, all right? And my baby loves food. She is a Taurus. I had her bottles. I had her formula. I had her diapers, everything. You know, moms, we don't play that. The bag was stuffed with stuff. I had shit to do that day. He was off. He said he was going to watch her the whole day. He took my child to his home, and I'm a very intuitive person. Mother's intuition. I just had a bad feeling all day. I just had a bad feeling all day. right? So I called him. I'm like, what are you doing? And I hear my baby just screaming, crying in the background. I'm like, what's going on? And he's sounding all stressed and shit. And he's like, oh, you're about to fix something to eat. Okay. He sounds kerfuffled. My baby's screaming bloody murder in the background. So I was like, okay, cool. So I just hung up the phone, and I was supposed to go get her later on in the evening, but something was like, go get her now. So I went to go get her. And when he came to the door, my child was in her walker. Her clothes were filthy. She was crying bloody murder, and he had a big baby bottle full of great fucking Kool-Aid for my child to drink. Now, I'm talking about the big baby bottles, not the newborn baby bottles. The big one. What are they, like 8 ounces, 10 ounces, whatever? I don't know. It's been a long time. One of the tall baby bottles full of grape Kool-Aid. How do I know it's grape Kool-Aid? Because I said, what is this? I snatched it. I said, what is this? Because my baby don't drink nothing purple. She is a baby. She drinks milk. She drinks water. You know? He said it was grape Kool-Aid. And then he started walking away because he knew I was going to be mad as fuck. And I have a temper. So he started walking away. So then I follow behind him, walking into the kitchen because he was making like a turkey burger. So I remember this so good. It was so traumatic. I remember this so well. And I walk in and I'm like, well, did she eat? My baby's screaming. So I'm like, what's going, why? Like, you're cooking? Did you feed her? Why does she look like that? She wasn't touching that bottle. She just looked horrified. I picked my child up. He had an attitude. He did not want to respond. He was getting all sassy and shit with the neck. So I was like, you know what, fuck this nigga. So I went, picked my baby up, right? I pick her up. First of all, like I said, her shirt was soaking wet. I was like, I gotta go change my baby clothes. I was so mad. I took my child. I picked her up. I took her in his bedroom. When I took her pamper off, first of all, when I opened up her onesie, the pamper fell the fuck off of her. She had on the same pamper from when I had let her go with him from earlier that morning, okay? How do I know this? I counted the pampers in the pamper bag. She had on the same pamper all fucking day. Mind you, this is evening. I'm pissed. So then I look again because she crying. I'm like, she's hungry. I'm like, where's her bottle? He's like, I don't know. I look around at the bed. The same bottle that I had made her and sent her with that morning was in the fucking bed. The same fucking bottle. The same bottle. The same bottle. So by this time, I'm pissed. I'm like, yo, how many times you fed the baby today? And then he was like, oh shit. He's like, I forgot. You forgot? I said, did you eat today? He said, yeah. I said, so how the fuck you eat but you forget to feed a baby? No response. So anyway, long story short, that was it. I was like, oh, you can't be around my child until she is old enough to speak, to tell you I'm hungry, since you do not have enough sense to feed a child or change their diaper. And she was so traumatized from that experience. Now, mind you, the guy who gave me my daughter is very black. He's very, very dark skinned. My mother is very, very dark skinned. My brother is very, very dark skinned. I have very, very dark skinned cousins. You see where I'm going with this, right? She was so traumatized. Anytime a dark skinned man tried to come towards her for like the next 2-3 months, she would just start screaming, crying. So I don't even know what else he did to her. All I know, like I said, my brother's dark skinned. My brother couldn't come around her. Couldn't fucking come around her. She started screaming her fucking head off. Whatever he did, he traumatized her. And I was like, you got me fucked up. You cannot come around my child. You can come see her, but you cannot take her until she can speak. He got mad about that shit. He felt away. He got mad. That bitter baby mama activated. Mind you, when he was in the military, he was an IT. So like, they work with computers and stuff. So he's like a computer hacker, scammer type guy. This motherfucker sent me a video message, but it was like one of those video messages that like expire after a certain amount of time. He sent me a video message, and he called me a bird. He told me I was a bird brain, I was stupid, I was this and that. Like, just flaming me up, y'all. Flaming me. This nigga called me everything but a child of God. You hear me? And he was feeling real good about that shit too. He popped big shit because he knew that he put it in one of those messages that fucking destruct after a while. That's why he felt so comfortable to pop shit. And if I had known, I would have saved it. I would have tried to figure out how to save it or something. I don't fucking know. But anyway, he sent me that disrespectful ass video and shit, talking shit about me, talking about I don't come from nowhere, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Didn't give a fuck. And it was on after that. It was on. It was on like hot butter popcorn. After that, he tried to take my daughter away from me behind my back while I was deployed. He always like do things behind people's back. Always. But you know, that didn't work out. Okay? I did not even know that he had went and filed something. Thankfully, I had a family attorney because shit was going on. A mail came to my house saying that we had this court date for him to take my child. So guess what the fuck I did? Got my ass on a motherfucking plane. You know she wasn't missing court. You know she wasn't missing court. This is part one.